We're going up. Are you ready? Do you have something to say? Hello and welcome to the Gambling Racket, the sports gambling podcast aimed at giving you the angles and insights into successfully betting tennis. My name is Ben, and I'm joined here by my co-host, Vic Lodato, author of Apaches of New York, and we are bringing you today episode 9. So unfortunately, we're not joined by Chris. I had a little bit of a family emergency today, but he'll be back for episode 10, and hopefully we can catch him on social media for some picks in between episodes. But we are currently in the middle of day 1 of round of 32 at Indian Wells, both men's and women's. We've seen some exciting matches. We've seen a lot of withdrawals. We're going to go through that today. In fact, why don't we talk about kind of what the talk of the tournament has been so far? Not only the Nadal withdrawal, but just withdrawals in general. Vic, I've got a list in front of me, but do you want to take us through some of the big ones?
Yeah, so you mentioned the biggest one, I'd say, Nadal. Nadal had to withdraw before his first match. Real bummer. He posted on Instagram a video of him knocking some clay off of his shoes. So, he's back. He's playing on clay right now. Honestly, I think it's probably the right move for him. It's just, pass up the hard court season, focus on the clay, go win the French Open, retire, and let that be it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
nobody wants to see him get hurt on a hard court and lose that opportunity to get that last major, or that last Grand Slam. So yeah, definitely a bummer. I had Nadal minus 195. It voided on me, so it didn't count as a loss, thankfully. Then another big withdrawal I had that also thankfully voided for me instead of counting as a loss was Rybakina. I had Rybakina to win and defend her title, plus 500, and she had to withdraw again. I don't know what the reason was given this time. Last time it was like stomach issues. I don't know. Maybe she has
It
IBS.
was it, it was the same thing. It was gastrointestinal illness.
Same thing. I don't know what's going on. She's sick or she's got IBS, which it's no joke for those of you who have watched what the movie with Tom Hanks when they try to kill that lady and he's in her basement. You know what I'm talking about?
How old is it?
The Lady Killers Club. The Ladies Killers Club.
No, I haven't seen it.
Good movie. Good
A
movie.
lot, a
Good
lot of
ensemble
diarrhea
cast.
in that movie.
One of the characters has IBS, and it's a major plot point. It's a major plot point. The IBS is a major plot point.
Wow. Okay. No
Spoiler.
spoilers then.
And then our last,
Something to check out after this episode, maybe.
yeah, yeah. And then our last withdrawal that I also had a bet on and voided on me was Badosa minus 130, and she had to withdraw. I don't know what the reason given for her was. She's had back issues this year. She had to withdraw from Thailand because of back issues. So I saw her in the
It
stands
was
today.
still her back.
Still her back. I saw her in
Yeah.
the stands today rooting on TT Paz. So she's not too bad, but yeah, it's just a bummer when you see like these top tier athletes, unable to compete. So it's definitely a bummer. I don't know. Did I miss anybody? Anybody that I left off the list there?
Yeah. So a few other, let's see, other withdrawals included Popperin, the Australian. He was supposed to play Marchand in the first round.
That's
We
right.
had Nadal, obviously. Shevchenko retired, I think, in the second set against Cerundolo. Let's see, Raonic retired, or sorry, Raonic was a walkover against Holger Rune. So Rune had the day off yesterday, which is nice.
He always retires. He always retires. Raonic, that's the story on him, man. He makes it to the second or third round, and then he has to withdraw.
Yeah, yeah, it's unfortunate because he's got an interesting game. He's one of those names that is always good for like an early round knockoff of a big name. So it's too bad. Would like to see him play Rune. Would have been a nice test for him to start the tournament off. Echeverry also withdrew. He was supposed to play Triple Z. Triple Z instead played the Italian Nardi and lost, so didn't go his way at all. That's it for the
Triple Z, the
men.
Chinese guy,
What's that?
Zhang, Triple Z, the Zhang.
Yeah,
What's his middle name?
but it's his name is Zhijian Zhang, so it's Zhizheng
All
Jang.
right, all right, all right. I see
Or
it. I see Triple
sorry,
Z.
not a G in there. It's Zhijian, so Zhen, not G.
Fuck it,
Um,
Triple Z, Triple Z.
Triple
I like him
Z.
better with the nickname now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a pony. He's got that like top ponytail thing going on too.
Yeah, the top knot thing, the top knot.
Uh, on for the women, you mentioned already Bedosa and Rybakina. Who else? Oh, Yastremska retired in the first set. I don't even know if the game kicked off against Raducanu, but I'm pretty sure Raducanu did not have a makeup match for that as well. So that was
Oh
just
yeah, and
a withdrawal.
Von der Rosa withdrew right in the third round. So Von der Rosa just withdrew.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I'm not seeing
Cost.
that one.
Yeah, it's on the Wikipedia page. So it must have just got announced recently.
Wait, did I have a bet on her today?
Marketa Simkova Von der Rosa.
Oh, that's too bad.
Vondrousova. The reigning
Vondrousova,
champion
yeah.
with all the
Okay.
prison tattoos on her arms.
Yeah, she was supposed to play Kostyuk. Not till tomorrow,
Yeah.
though. So she's already withdrawn. That's too bad. But Kostyuk, if you remember, finalist WTA San Diego, lost to Katie Bolter.
Your
She
girl.
looks like she'll have a free pass into the quarters, though. Right? That'll be quarter. Yeah, the
Yeah, that'd be a
quarterfinals.
quarterfinal. Round four,
Um,
round four.
yeah. So that's all the withdrawals. It feels like a lot, maybe because some of them were bigger names. Obviously, Nadal and Rybakina being the biggest. But yeah, we've still had a lot of good tennis. We're gonna go through rounds 1 through 3 with you. Currently, we're watching the round of 32, the first day of the round of 32. So there's unfortunately our guy Bublik is having a little bit of fun down 5-0 in the second set, and it's kind of just getting beyond him right now. But
Should
let's
have
talk
never taken
about
his hat off. He should have never taken his hat off. And then once he got broken in the second set, that's when he smashed the racket. Once you see Bublik smash the racket, that's when you live bet. I live bet too early. I live bet at the start of the second set for plus 700. So that's my fault. I know the rules betting on Bublik. You live bet once he smashes the racket. But that's okay. That's okay. We'll live to fight another day.
hey, it's a strategy and it's worked in the past. So from a gambling perspective, I'm not knocking it. Keep an eye on it. It pays off to study the game, right? And to have a player that you follow closely, like Vic does with Bublik. I mentioned her. So let's talk real quick, Vic, about futures. I was going to say I mentioned her a little bit ago. The only future I have that is already dead is my Katie Bolter outright winner. Really unfortunate. It was it just wasn't meant to be. Took too much time off with her boyfriend, who's playing right now, and just kind of doing those interviews since they both won. She won WTA San Diego, he won in Acapulco. Yeah, it just got to her. Maybe she felt like he was on top of a mountain and just didn't bring her A game. She looked very off in her round one matchup. So it's too bad we're not seeing her make a run in this tournament as well. It's all right though. I've made some good money on WTA so far in this tournament. It's been much kinder to me than the men have. We'll get into that in a second. But how are your futures looking, Vic?
So the only futures I had Rybakina outright at plus 550, which pushed, and then Alcaraz outright at plus 450. I stayed away from the quarters. I didn't see any value there. So I still got Alcaraz out there for me. I mean, just as far as how the first couple rounds have gone for me has been nightmarish, is the best way I would describe it. Down 6.5 units. I think the record was like 3-12 last time I checked. So definitely hoping for some late round magic in Indian Wells and for Alcaraz to win and pay plus 450 to climb back out of this hole that I've dug myself. Definitely It's bad when you start playing the qualifying when you're betting on the qualifiers and you go 0 for 4 on qualifiers. That should be like a giant red flag. Leave off day one. Leave off day one. But no, I've had a rough start to Indian Wells, so hopefully week 2 goes better for me.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a little bit of a turnaround as well. I think I mentioned it. My day one was great, and then on maybe another talking point for the tournament in general is that the first 2 days were kind of marred by the weather, and
Yeah, a
we
lot of
had
rain.
canceled, which is obviously uncharacteristic for Southern California. But we saw some late game cancellations. The schedule got worked around. I don't know. I don't want to blame that on my betting picks or blame my betting picks on that. But day 2 and day 3 were kind of painful for me. Again, luckily we had WTA to kind of keep us afloat, but we are not swimming and we're currently just treading water. So today, hopefully we get the turnaround. Unfortunately, we just lost on our first pick, which is Bublik plus 4 games. You know what? If he had brought that first set to a tiebreak, win or lose, maybe he shows up a little bit more seriously in the second set. But it's a painful loss to start out the day. A few more games going on, though, that we can turn it around with. So let's talk about what we've got moving forward. So, Vic, based on the folks that are still in the tournament, who are you looking forward to the most? Let's start with the men.
I'm looking forward to the most. Well, I've got Alcaraz, like I said, who's fucking dismantling FAA, that Canadian bum. So that's looking good for my future. Um, and then he's going to match up with Morozian, who I just bet on against Wild this afternoon. So I think Alcaraz is going to be able to make it to the quarters, which looks good for me. And no issues there. As far as what else is out there, Big Z is still alive. Most of the big names are still alive. Tiafo just lost to Tsitsipas today. You've got Rublev versus Lehecka later this round. That's going to be a good one. And Medvedev Korda should also be a good one this round. But as far as like people that I'm looking forward to playing, really, I mean, it's just Alcaraz left for me on the men's side. Not really nobody else that I'm in love with that's left. Maybe your boy Sebastian Baez against Taylor Fritz is something I'm thinking about, but yeah, none of my favorites left. Tommy Paul versus Ugo Humbert. I want to bet on Tommy Paul, but Humbert is just in such crazy form. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then one thing to look at: lucky loser Luca Narda has made it to the third round. It went through your boy Triple Z, and
My boy.
yeah, your boy. Yeah, it's your boy, right?
You said Bias is my boy, now Triple Z is my boy. How many boys do I have?
I don't know, man. That's up to you. That's up to you.
Jeez. Just so you know, Marjan already won. He beat
Yeah,
Seyboth Wild. Okay,
yeah.
I thought you said
I bet
it was
that.
coming up this afternoon. So yeah, good pick there. That was an underdog, right? Underdog winner.
Yeah, I think it's plus 115, 120, something like that.
Awesome. Great pick.
Yeah,
I'm
I love
looking
going
forward.
back on Tiafo. So,
Yeah. Uh, yeah. Really, really tough game for Tiafo. He just, man, in the first set, I don't know if you were listening to the casters, but he every time Tsitsipas had a second serve, which is the easier serve to return, he only returned 58% of them, just barely over half of the second serves from Tsitsipas. Like that's not professional level stuff from Tiafo.
yeah, I
I
mean, I don't the line was I felt like the line was so off. He was like plus 230 and I'm or plus around plus 230, plus 200, something like that. And I'm just like in America on a hard court, no. Like neither one of them is in good form, but man, Tiafoe has been in bad form lately. I think it's like an auto stay away from now on until he gets his coaching situation figured out. He just has not been good since he fired that Austrian.
Yeah, he really needs someone to keep him honest on his game because 2024 has been really rough for him so far. I agree. He's a stay away from me. I'm not putting any money on him until he can prove that he can consistently win. He had some brilliant moments in the second set, but it just wasn't enough. He couldn't piece anything together. He couldn't win. He couldn't break back Tsitsipas.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's just no consistency. It's just
Yeah,
like two really good points, then he gives it away. Then, it's crazy because the talent's there. The talent is definitely there. Like he can beat top level guys,
yep,
and he's not putting it together. So yeah, definitely a bummer.
yeah. Um, As far as things I'm looking forward to on the men's side, nothing. So we're gonna have most likely Zverev facing Demonor in round of 16, which would be awesome. But the rest of that bottom portion of the bracket is not too exciting. Nothing's really blowing me away there. There's Alcaraz is probably going to blow through Marjan. Maybe when we get to the quarterfinal, we'll see a competitive matchup. But I don't know. I haven't really been interested in general in what's going on with that part of the bracket. See, the Tsitsipas portion of the bracket as well. We're going to have most likely Rublev and Tsitsipas. Not just doesn't get me excited. I think Sinner's going to blow through this portion of the bracket anyways. But hey, watching him play potentially Ben Shelton could be a good one. Not complaining about that by any means.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. That'll be a fun one to watch.
I've
Definitely
got
Ben.
a
Did you watch Ben Shelton versus Mensik?
yeah, yeah.
Dude, Ben Shelton, I know he's a young kid, but man, he's kind of a dick, like
Um,
awkward behavior, dogging whoever he's going against. How old is he? He's 21. He's 21. I think he's a little bit older than Mensik, but man, he was kind of giving it to Mensik at after the points there in the third set.
yeah, it's there's two courts here, right? One is the side that says we love this kind of energy from the young guys, young good players, keep bringing it, and the other side is like, man, you're just kind of being a dick. It makes it hard to like you, right? Like, what are you being such a jerk for? How about you win with
I
some
love supporting
humility?
Americans. I love supporting guys with big serves, but he rides that fence for me. Sometimes I'm like, bro, you don't need to celebrate that point like that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's definitely got he's a character. We'll put it like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a personality. Maybe he's trying to fill the curious void. Who knows?
That is a big void to fill. That is a big void to fill. Yeah. He hasn't had a total breakdown on court yet though.
Yeah.
So he's got a ways to go there.
Some things that I'm still looking forward to. I've got Demonor as I got a future on Demonor as the fourth quarter winner.
Okay.
And we just talked about that's absolutely in play for him. He's probably gonna have to go through Zverev and Alcaraz to do it, but it's still alive. I've got Humbert as the Q1 winner, still alive. You mentioned him before. He's got a match tomorrow
So you
against.
have, just to let me get this straight, you have futures that have Djokovic losing in the quarters and Alcaraz losing in the quarter.
Yes, sir.
Wow. All right. There you go. That's called backing your dogs. Good for you. Good for you.
And the last one I have for the men is Medvedev outright winner. So that's still alive for me. He plays Korda tomorrow, who just dominated. Who did he play yesterday? He just dismantled him.
Borda just played Safulin, Roman
That's
Safulin.
right.
4-6-2 him.
Blew through him. So that might maybe a challenge for Medi. Manarino, he blew through his opponent yesterday as well. He plays Dimitrov tomorrow.
Yeah, he beat up Machop, who
That's
beat
right.
Stan in a good three-setter in round one. So
Yeah.
yeah, Manarino, he looks good sometimes. Some tournaments he shows up to play, and it looks like he showed up to play this one. So he plays Dimitrov next. That'll be a good one.
I hope so. He's still a stay away from me. Manarino's let me down too many times this year so far. He just hasn't been consistent from tournament to tournament. So I'm not touching him, but maybe Safulin has just had a really off day because that was not a competitive match at all. Yeah, so and that's what we're looking forward to as far as the men go. If you had to pick a winner based on who's still alive, Vic, who are you picking?
Alcaraz, I've got Alcaraz. I've
Just
got my
because of your
future on
future?
Alcaraz. I think he's got the easiest. He's had the easiest route to the quarterfinal. As long as he makes it through FAA, which FAA is plus 1,700 right now, so I don't think he's gonna blow that one. Knock on wood.
He's down a set, yeah, and
Yeah,
he's down a
he's
break.
got he's got Morosian in the fourth round, and then he'll either play Big Z or Demon in the quarterfinal, and those guys hopefully beat up on each other, and then he'll play Sinner most likely in the semis, and then Joker or Medvedev in the final. So yeah, I still like Alcaraz to win it off. I'm sticking with that one.
All right.
What about
I
you?
Obviously I have my future for Medi, but man, I have a really hard time going against Sinner to win this whole thing. Just to lose to anybody right now. He is playing incredible tennis. He's having an
16 in a row,
incredible,
right? 16 wins in a row or something like
yeah,
that.
what dating back to 2023. He hasn't lost 2024 yet, which is crazy. So I how do you not ride that trend, right? That's one of those things where, a lot of longtime gamblers will tell you you ride it till it breaks. And
Dude,
whether
I
or
know
not,
I was just talking shit about him, but I would love to bet on Ben Shelton against Sinner in the fourth round. Like, I can't wait to make
ooh,
that bet. You know,
okay.
I he's probably gonna be like plus 250, 300, right?
Yeah.
At
Yeah, that's
least.
probably right.
That's going to be a fun one to watch, and that's going to be so. I'm definitely looking forward to making that bet if he can make it past Rondeau. So yeah, good call. But no, I mean everything. Regression to the mean. He's going to lose eventually. He's going to have a bad day eventually.
Yeah, most likely. But again, I'm not gonna try and pick that day out. I'd rather just pick every
And
other
that's
day.
good. Yeah.
Let's see. Before we move on to WTA and what we're looking forward to, anything for the rest of today, besides what you've already got? I don't know if you have anything still live for today, but anything else that you like that you're seeing for one, two, three, 4 games we have left today?
Um, no, I mean the lack of plus 285 kind of intrigues me a little bit, but I just think Rublev's a different level than him, so I'm gonna stay away from that. But that's
Yeah.
that's the only one that I would even think about touching, and that's only if I was like up on my Bublik plus 700 live bet and I had some money to throw around. That's the
Right.
only time I'd make that bet. But other than that, nothing today. Tomorrow, for tomorrow, I kind of like do you have anything tomorrow? I mean,
For today, I still got my Shelton and Cerundolo over 22 games alive.
Oh,
I
I like
might
that one.
put I
Okay.
might put a unit on Greek Sport to beat Zverev. Plus 260. It feels like it should be a little bit closer. I think Greek Sport is not, I think he's a better player, in my opinion, than someone like Lehechka, at least right now, the way they're currently playing. And Zverev has been shaky, to say the least, against like the most random opponents. So I'm not totally bought into Zverev like absolutely being a contender to win this quarter. And I might put a unit on that. I'll tweet it out if I do.
Okay, yeah, let me know. Let me know. That I might ride with you on that one. I mean, Greek Sport, he made it to the final in Rotterdam, so he's had a strong year. And yeah, Big Z, he lost to who did he lose to in Los Cabos? That was a nobody. Jordan Thompson, right?
He did. Yeah, he lost to, yeah, I think so. It was either Thompson or Michelson. I think it was Thompson. I think you're right.
Oh no, he lost to Michelson as well. He lost back to back.
Oh, he lost to Michelson in Acapulco.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah, he's been upset twice recently, and relatively big upsets. Like Greek Sport is less of a dog than Michelson was against him. So yeah, not a crazy bet. Not a crazy bet.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'll tweet that out if I lock it in. And let's see. You were just looking at tomorrow's matchups? You got anything locked in yet? I haven't really done too much studying on that. I have a couple picks that I'm cooking. I can share now, but what do you got?
Tomorrow I mean Casper Ruud minus 260. I might do a Ruud Rune parlay. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll do a Rude Rune parlay, the R's. I'll stick with my R's to make it together, to
Hell yeah, Rudy
get the
Runa.
juice
Can't
down.
go wrong with that, right?
Yeah, I think that should juice it down to like even money or minus 120. So that's not too bad.
I'm not so I'm not ready yet to bet against Musetti. He's like, I'm not counting Sinner, but man, I've been getting frustrated with the Italian men in this tournament. Just like, dude, it's just annoying. And you're talking about Shelton's attitude a little bit. These guys have like grown man attitude problems. Like Fognini, obviously, he's always been a hothead.
Yeah.
It's been annoying to just it was annoying to watch him kind of just flop around the court. Even though I think he had a win, it was just not pleasant. Nardi's been all right. We had Sonego though. Man, that dude is kind of a head case as well. He kicked a trash can and like broke it apart in the last set of his loss yesterday. Man, come on, Italians, get it together. Like, Jesus, you're a professional.
It's the hot blood. It's the hot blood, Italians and Iberians. That's the same.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. So, but that being said, that hot blood could bring fire. Runa, I do like that he has had the day off. It's kind of it's odd to me that he's only a minus 300. I feel like that should be, I think he's a much better player than Musetti. Like I
Yeah,
said,
Musetti
Musetti's
was
been playing
plus
well.
odds against Shapovalov, right? Or they were close. It wasn't it was like a line that was relatively close, I think.
He was very close. Yeah.
So yeah, for him to, yeah, I think Rune is a class above. So definitely I like that one. And then my boy Rude, Casper. This is not a 250, so I don't expect him to win. But I think Fees has had, relatively easy path. Fokina and Borges. I'm not really impressed with Arthur right now.
Uh, I, I am differing from you on that one. I had Fakina beating Feast yesterday, and man, he just did not show up. What are we calling him? ADF. ADF is inconsistent. One of these guys, again, he'll show up and play brilliantly one day, and the next he shows up and it's like the wheels came off the wagon in the first set. It's kind of frustrating to watch. So he might be on my no bet list for a little while as well. At plus 220 against Rude, I don't hate the fees bet. If I mean, I don't want to go against you on this one. I'm not too committed, but I feel like that's kind of good value there. Maybe this is a little bit closer. Rude is Rude though, so he's definitely. I agree with you in the sense that he is a class above fees, so he should win this one. But maybe a little bit of value if you're really digging the run that fees is on. So
Yeah, if you're looking for something, it's not a bad place to start. If you're looking for just a straight bet, a straight dog, that's it's not the worst one out there.
yeah, agreed. I would, if I had to make a parlay like you just did, I would go with Dimitrov over Manarino. Dimitrov is minus 350. That seems like the correct line to me. And I would add on to that Medi at minus 275 versus Corda. I think that one's wrong just because of the way Corda played yesterday. But that parlay would
You think
get you
it's
like
short or it's
around
long?
minus
You think it should be
130.
closer?
Say that again.
You think Medvedev should be more of a favorite or less of a favorite?
More of a favorite.
Yeah, I think so too. I definitely think that's a short. I thought it was short, but also I'm not like chasing minus 275. So,
Yeah.
but at the same time, like yeah, Medvedev, same thing, like class above. Like Medvedev is top four player in the world. Like there's only a handful of guys I expect to ever be able to really beat him.
Yeah.
Or something.
Agreed. So, like you said, 275 just seems short to me. The parlay of those two guys, who I think are like automatics for tomorrow, gets you around minus 130, which is decent value. It's a little juicy, but whatever. For what we've been paying, it's probably smarter just given like my average odds lately and the win-loss ratio lately. So look out for a tweet for that.
Yeah,
Really excited about the Cam
you don't
Norrie.
go broke making a profit. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
no shame in taking the easy wins if they're
right.
there. You just
Exactly.
got to win them. You got to win them though.
I'm really looking forward to the Cam Norrie Gael Monfils match. That is currently seeing Norrie as a plus 105 dog, and Monfils is minus 125. That
Oh,
should be
wow.
an awesome matchup. Norrie, I he looked a little shaky in his match yesterday, but came out pretty comfortably in the end. So we'll see if he can keep that momentum up. And Monfils is Monfils playing on hard court in America. What are you
Who did he
gonna
just smoke? He bageled somebody yesterday, right?
Nori? He beat
No,
Sonego.
Monfils.
Oh, he played. Was it yes? Yeah, it was yesterday. Let's see.
Hercash. He beat Hercash 6-0. Then they went to a tiebreak like Hercash always does. And then Monfils won the third set 6-2. So yeah, I mean that's a big win. That's a top 10 win for Monfils. So yeah, it's definitely seems to be in form. He beat Max Purcell 6-1, 6-2 in the round one. So yeah, this might be a good week for Monfils.
Yeah. Um, yeah, really impressive win over Hercatch. Hercatch has been slumping though. It's been a little frustrating to watch if you're a big serve better. So it's too bad that we're not going to see him anymore in Indian Wells. But hey, if he's not on his A game, then good riddance. Fuck him. So That's what I'm looking forward to. Again, official plays will be tweeted out, and we'll probably have some shorts rolling out to accompany them as well. Let's if you got anything else on the men, let me know. But I'd like to transition over to the women.
That's it for.
All right, so for futures on the women, I have nothing left alive, having lost on the Azarenka third quarter and Katie Bolter outright winner. And you don't have anything left as well, right, Vic? Because you've got the no contest for
That's
or the
right.
voided bet
I
rather
should have
for Rybakina.
Rybakina, and she's out with IBS, so nothing left for me.
Yeah, it's a really tough break there. Just so everyone is aware, the way that at least the sites that we typically place our futures bets on, as long as the players don't play a single point in the tournament and they withdraw before that, then all futures bets are voided. If they start the tournament though and they play a point, then it would be marked as a loss. So that's why we were thanking Rybakina before for doing it before she played. That way we didn't actually lose out on any money that we placed. So before we get into individual matchups, just looking at the field that's left, we've seen more upsets, I'd say, on the WTA side, Vic. With who's left, who are you picking to take it all the way, either win their quarter or win the whole thing?
Yeah, like you said, a lot of upsets on the WTA side, but the big three are still alive: Iga, Sabalenka, and Coco, right?
Yep.
So those are your top three remaining players, and then the next highest seeded player still alive is Maria Sakkari, who has got the new coach, but she's lined up to play Sabalenka if she makes it through her section in the quarterfinal, and I don't see her beating Sabalenka. So, yeah, that's the big dogs who are left. I'm gonna have to go with Iga. Iga's just a machine. She's defending champ. She's or no, who's the defending champ here? It's
Rybakina
Rybakina.
was
Rybakina was
Rybakina was
defending.
yeah.
My bad. Oh, jeez. But Iga's number one. She's got that dog in her. So I'd have to say I got Iga.
Yeah, she's playing incredibly. She just wiped out Noskova, who, if you remember, beat her in the Australian Open this year.
Mhm.
Just dismantled her in straight sets. She moves on to play Putintseva, who I won this morning on. She was a plus 115 dog against Madison Keys. She took it in straight sets. So a nice way to balance out that Bublik loss for me to start the day today.
Who and Siva, Kazakhstani.
There you
Kazakhstan.
go. Hey, maybe you forgot the flag on that one today,
Dude,
but
I bet on her in Thailand too, and I made money off her on her in Thailand, but I just don't bet as much WTA. I'm a fool. As soon as you see the Kazakhstani flag, you should just bet. I don't know what I'm doing. That's my mistake. That's my mistake.
yeah, well, let's connect on that more because I've been doing really well with WTA for Indian Wells so far. Uh, and actually, the Putin Seva pick kind of went against what my logic has been so far. I've been picking a lot of American underdogs to win, and it's been working well. Keys is an American, but she has not been in great form or really playing at all this year. So Putin Seva at plus 115 seemed too generous to me. Luckily, it paid off when we won on that one. I don't think she's getting through Iga though. Iga is like we just said, playing insane. She does not have much competition left in this quarter. She seems like a pretty solid lock to win the first quarter. You mentioned
Wozniacki has been playing well. If you wanna throw somebody crazy out there who she'd play in the quarterfinal. So Caroline Wozniacki, always a favorite of mine to pick. I'm on her tonight against Katie Volnitz. But yeah, she's not gonna beat Iga. But if I had to pick somebody other than Iga to win the quarter, it'd be Caroline.
I've won on Wozniacki twice in this tournament. First against you and then against
Against me? I'm
Vic
kidding.
against Vecic. Both times she was an underdog. I've also won twice on Katie Volinets as an underdog. First versus Mira Andreeva at plus 240, and then against Andrea Jabeur at plus 175. Volinets and Wozniacki have been crushing it for me. I am on the opposite side. I'm sorry. I agree with you. Wozniacki is playing great tennis,
He's gonna
especially
stay
after
with the
coming
dog.
back from her injury. I just can't. I can't go against the American woman here. Again, I'm getting her a plus 140. Yeah, sorry, man. This is going to be me versus you tonight.
All right, no worries, no worries. I'll make it interesting.
Yeah, for sure. The other play that I've already tweeted out is Kerber plus 3 games against Kudermetova. That I like the way Kerber played in the last round. I think that she's going to keep this one competitive. I don't necessarily think she's going to win though. I know we just got into individual picks before I shared my thoughts on futures. I like I said though, Iga most likely. I don't anticipate getting good odds for her to win the third quarter. Probably not even to win the whole thing. But you mentioned the other big three. Sabalenka is still alive. She'll be playing Raducanu tomorrow. She would have to go through Maria Sakkari to win the quarter if they meet there in the quarterfinals. And you mentioned Coco Gauff, who pulled out an insane comeback yesterday after being down 4 games to none in the third set. She was plus 300. I think I saw her at plus 500, but I caught her at plus 300. Apologies for not tweeting it out. It was kind of a split second thing. And Vic, I texted it to the group chat that
Yeah.
I might have just spoken her comeback into reality. And sure enough, man, Burrell just collapsed. It like she looked sad. She looked like she wanted to just curl up into a ball and hide on the court. It was not a inspiring performance. Goff shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. And now she's going to be facing Bronzetti, who I just won on yesterday as a plus 150 underdog. So I don't see her having an issue with that. Naomi Osaka has turned her game around a lot, which has been nice to see. She has a tough matchup against Elise Mertens coming up. But if she makes it through that, she'll most likely meet Coco Gauff for the chance to go advance to the quarterfinal. This is kind of a tougher part of the bracket here for Goff. Not only
Yeah, definitely.
Osaka,
She's
but
got the toughest route out of the big three left. She's got the hardest route to win.
agreed. Yeah, she'd either have to go through Osaka, Mertens, Kazakhina. Probably not. I'd be surprised if Sloane Stevens moves on through Kazakhina, but it's possible. There's some big names there, and then the last remaining portion of the bracket, the top seed left looks like Poderosa, right? Podoroska.
Uh, du- 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 du.
She's
Um,
playing Potapova.
I think it's Poloni, right? Jasmine Poloni.
Oh,
Section three and
oh yeah,
section
she's
four.
this is sorry, she's playing right now. Paulini is playing right now. She's tied with Kalinskaya. So it's like the color's different. So I thought she was out for some reason. My bad. Yes, Paulini would be the highest rated seed. Again, if she moves on, she'll face the winner of that Podorosa Potapova matchup. Hadaj Maya is still alive. If she moves on against Pavlyuchenkova, then she would face Kostyuk, who we talked about before, advanced because of Vondrusova's withdrawal. Not, and there's some maybe opportunities to make money in this part of the bracket, but nothing like too excited. Nothing I'm too excited about. It'd be nice to see Kostyuk maybe go up against Iga in the semis. That'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, I think that'd be a good one. She's 21. Uh, the Ukrainian Marta Kostyuk. Her best major singles result is reaching the quarterfinal at the 2024 Australian Open. So yeah, she's definitely on her way up.
Yeah, for sure. And she's a finalist at WTA San Diego as well. So she's had a great year so far. Could see her in the winning her quarter and advancing to the semis. Let's see what the futures lines look like when they come back out at the end of the day today. If there's some value there, I might put a unit or two on her.
Yeah, it's a good call. I'm gonna check the futures lines tonight before bed and see what's updated now that we're halfway down with round three.
Awesome. Anything you're looking forward to in tomorrow's matchups for WTA?
WTA, the only thing I'm looking forward to tomorrow is Maria Sakkari minus 175 against Carolina Garcia. Sakkari's my girl. always. So yeah, definitely excited to see her play. And this is her first tournament with the new coach, Bobby Witt. So I could
Bobby.
see one thing in hockey, you always get the new coach bounce. Maybe she's gonna go on a little hot streak with the new coach.
Dude, I think that's across the board. Ohio State got that. Ohio State basketball got
Yeah, 5-1, right?
that bounce. Yeah, they've been incredible. They beat Purdue in their first game without their old coach. So that not a bad trend to follow. Let's keep an eye on Zachary. Minus 175 against Caroline Garcia. I'm not touching that one. Garcia just beat me up yesterday. Well, I had one of those longer shot kind of gut feel plays. I put a half a unit on Tomova to beat her, and Garcia was not having it. She took care of business very easily in that one. So maybe there's some value if you're a Caroline Garcia fan. I haven't got my eyes on Diane Perry again. I won on her yesterday, beating Fernandez, and at plus 130 against Blinkova, I think that is some decent value there. This, to me, this should be like minus 110 both ways. Diane Perry's had a good year so far, and I like that we'll be able to start the day tomorrow with hopefully a nice underdog win with her. Bronzetti plus
Oh,
600 against Coco Gauff. I'm not ruling that out. I need to look a little bit more into that one, but Coco with her inconsistency, man, it's hard to really be in her corner when you're seeing lines like this, right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it won't be crazy. It will not be crazy. Uh,
Sorry, I know I cut you off there. What were you about to say?
no, no, the only thing I was just looking at the line. I saw Emma, how did you say
Raducanu or Navarro.
Raducanu plus 475. I mean, she has definitely been she's been on it lately, since the return from injury, she's definitely been playing really, really well. So that should be a fun one to watch. I'm not going to bet against Sabalenka, but that'll be a fun one to watch.
I agree. I would love to see a competitive match between Raducanu and Sabalenka. Uh, is there value on this line? Maybe, maybe.
Is there ever
It
value betting against one of the big three in women's tennis? I don't know. That's a
yeah,
tough question, right?
that is a tough question. I'm probably with you on this one. I'm probably not going to touch that. Maybe if let me look real quick. If there's she's plus the line is plus 6 games. I don't like that. That means she could lose both sets 6-3, 6-3, and push.
So that's one break and two breaks, right? Because you serve first. So six. So that's her getting broken three times, right?
Yeah, which would put you at well, it depends on who serves first. The total is 19 games. I'm looking more at this set spread. Raducanu plus 1.5 sets is plus 170. That might be a little bit more appealing to me. I could see her picking up maybe the first set if she starts out with a lot of momentum.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
So that's
You
something I'll
never
keep an
know.
eye on for sure. Again, I'll
I
tweet
mean,
that out if I
Sabalenka was down to three match points against Peyton Stearns and needed an amazing comeback against Peyton Stearns. So uh, we've definitely seen some of these women, have to dig deep and fight off some big upsets already this week.
you'd love to see the parity.
Yeah,
Great opportunity to make money. All you got to do is to take those extra few minutes after you look through the men's lines and pay attention to what's going on with the women. And there's a lot of opportunities to pad your bankroll here. So that's something I'll keep an eye on. Like I said, I'm excited about the Osaka and Mertens match. I mentioned it before. We're talking about what the future of the bracket looks like. I think that'll be a good one. That's later on. Actually, yeah, it should be later on in the afternoon tomorrow. And yeah, you kind of nailed it with that Raducanu Sabalenka match. So that should be a fun one. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Until now, though, I've got two more. I've got Kerber and volley nets, and you have Wozniacki going today. So it'll be a fun rest of the day. It's raining here, so good day to just sit inside, crack a beer, and drink and watch some tennis.
what is that? A chorus?
No, no, it's a local Rubens Brews. It's getting pretty popular. I have some high lifes in the fridge as well. Tall boys, of course.
Okay, yeah, of course, of course.
It is Sunday, so maybe I have to break one of those out.
As
People,
is tradition.
a lot of people, yeah, yeah, right. As is tradition. A lot of people like to enjoy the high life on the weekends. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's all I've got for Indian Wells. Vic, any final thoughts before we kind of wrap things up and sign off here?
No, I think that's it for me. I think that's it for me. So yeah, looking forward to an exciting end of the tournament here at Indian Wells.
Same. Yeah. Well, I hope all our viewers have enjoyed it so far. Let us know. Like, check us out on Twitter, on YouTube. Engage with our social media. Let us know what you think about our picks. If you hate them, if you love them, if you're making money, we'd love to hear from you. So we're at Faulty Picks on Twitter and the Gambling Racket Podcast on YouTube. Thank you all for joining us for episode 9. We'll see you again next week to talk about the champions of Indian Wells and what we can look forward to for the rest of Masters March. This has been Ben and Vic with the Gambling Racket, and we'll catch you next time.
All right, we do the birds, right? Yeah,
Oh yeah,
we bird out.
I don't remember where that came from, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
us, the birds,
Flipping pigeons, flipping pigeons. That's
flipping
what we do.
pigeons. All right.
Yeah. All right.